Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Mongil Star Dive video. That's right, guys, the game drops globally in 2 days. Get yourselves into the pre-registration, get yourselves some free reward. This game looks like a ton of fun. Great character designs, amazing graphics, good gameplay, another content creator program for free codes for you guys, and yes, that's right, waifus along the way. So make sure, guys, you come join me live on April the 15th while I cover this game. We're going to go over the dev live stream that happened 3 days ago and see if this game is the right game for you. And hopefully you guys come join me for Mongil Star Dive on April the 15th. I'm going to go live for a few hours and hopefully you guys will be interested in playing and watching. Let's check it out. Alright, ladies and gents, before we start the video and watch the live stream, I wanted to tell you guys that the content creator program for this game will be around as well too. So without further ado, let's go into that. I'm going to find my name for you guys. You guys can hit the support button on April the 15th and get yourself some codes as well. If you plan to watch my content, check out all my guides and put all the content out with my live streams and everything, and you want to just support me, hit that support button on April the 15th and I will do my damnedest to continue getting you guys codes and the best content out there for this game. So without further ado, let's go check that out real quick and we'll come back to the live stream. Alright guys, so there I am again, Payneblade. That's right, if you are somebody who watches my content and you love the stuff I put out, or just want to support your boy, hit that support button, guys. I'll be making a ton of content for this game. We'll be getting you guys a buttload of codes. So make sure, guys, on Wednesday, you guys can see it's available. Jump on, join your boy, hit that support button, just like you do for SLA. Come join me in this game and let's make amazing content for this game, play this game together. I'll be doing a lot of live streams. I'm going to be doing a ton of content with co-op with stuff with people. So if you are somebody who plans to play this game and you watch my content, this is the perfect time to show your support, and I will do the same by giving you guys codes and making sure that you guys get the best content out there. Alright guys, we're back again. Sorry for the interruptions. I wanted to get that out of the way, but let's talk about this live stream for a bit. So first off, this is the first live stream they've actually put out, and they've done a pretty good job. You guys can see the format is very similar to SLA, where they have a couple of devs and a couple different people from the Mongil team put together, and they've put together this live stream, kind of talk about the basics of the game and things that we could expect as players. So a couple things I want to point out. First off, visually, they talk about this. The graphics actually look phenomenal. Alright, so this is Esther, one of the characters that we get to pull on. This is the first banner character that comes out, and you guys can see there's a photograph mode, so you can take pictures of your character, pictures of your surroundings. And one thing to note is all the characters are mostly waifus. There's actually only one male character that I know of right now, and that is the character named Cloud, and that's one of the main characters that you can start with. So you can either start with, I believe Cloud and Verna are the two main characters, and both of them have names and a story and have personality. And that's one thing I love about this game. A lot of the characters don't look stiff. A lot of the characters have personalities. A lot of the actual animations and cutscenes are actually really smooth. Plus they're funny. Plus they give a lot of personality to these characters to make them come to life. So Esther is one of the characters that we're going to be able to summon on right away. And if you want to check out her action, I put a whole video out for all of the characters that are currently in the game and all of their cutscenes plus their actions, so you can go check out all of the animations that they have plus their ultimates and their specials. So right now all the devs are doing is just kind of giving a general sense of what this game is about, some of the graphics in the game, and of course the assets that are in the game right now, right? So if you're a waifu lover, if you're a gacha player, you're gonna feel right at home. The beauty of this game, guys, is it doesn't do anything different. It just amplifies it and makes it better. Again, it not being a world open map game is music to my ears. It helps me as a father, as somebody who covers other games, and as a content creator, and as somebody with a full-time job, you know, in other businesses, be able to focus on a game and not just explore the open world that's available. As much as I love that, I just don't have the time for it. This game actually is very similar to Expedition 33 or other games like I'm trying to think of other games that are out there, like Final Fantasy 11, for example, where it looks like it's an open world RPG, but it's very linear. It'll take you over to other areas, and you guys can play that area, and then go explore a little bit later on. But it's not vast. It's not forcing you to do that. So that's a really good thing. The game combat is very smooth, and if you're familiar with solo leveling combat, you're going to be very familiar with this. There's QTEs, there's different skills, there's ultimates, etc. So they do a really good job, and you can tell right here in the character screen, there's 5-star characters or SRs, and then there's SR characters or 4-star characters, and you can identify them by their color and obviously in the banners. Right now, the open world aspect of it, a lot of people were scared of this, including myself, but you can see there's a mini map, and you go to the world map, and it is divided into different regions, and these regions are not fully open world, guys. So they're divided into different areas you can explore. You will explore them through the storyline, and it is a full map, but they're not completely open world for you to go and explore. So that's kind of a good thing about this game that I think is a breath of fresh air, because I'm honestly exhausted from all the open world games, and it's kind of nice to have something a little bit more linear with more thought and you know, production into the combat itself and the gameplay. So I think that's really, really cool. All right, so there is the Monsters Guild. The whole purpose of this game, guys, outside of the story mode, is to capture and tame monsters. It's one of the main parts of the game. And you can see here the influence of all these towns are very East Asian, very Korean atmospheric, as the devs are saying, and the backgrounds are going to be always like this. So very Genshin Impact-ish, where everything is in fact going to be very Asian based. Okay, so keep that in mind, and it does look phenomenal. Now, if you are a mobile player, you can absolutely play this on mobile. It is very, very tuned. It's tuned very well for mobile. So barely any lag, doesn't heat up your phone that much. You can use the backbone or a controller on it as well too. And right now on PC, you can also do the same thing. If you download it on Netmarble app, you can go ahead and use the keyboard and mouse or a controller to go ahead and do that as well too. So if you are using a lower end phone, the game does actually function fairly well. Higher end phones, you're going to see amazing graphics and it's going to look phenomenal there for you. All right, guys, so when it comes down to combat, you're going to see it's a 3-woman, 3-man, 3-gender team, right? At the end of the day, you're going to have 3 members on that team. Ideally, you want to be surrounded with a support, a DPS, and some sort of a fighter or a range. And right now, you guys can see this team is actually surrounded by 2 wind, it looks like, and 1 supporter. So Francis, the supporter, I don't remember her name, and then we have Esther as the fighter DPS, and we have a range support here as well too. So this is how it's going to look right now in terms of the screen, and you can pick various teams. There's different outputs and teams, so you can have a full range team, full mage team, full fighter team. It's up to you how you want to organize. But the beauty is there's going to be a lot of different slots with a lot of variety of characters that you can choose between with different elements, different play styles, as well as different combinations of group of characters that work well together, right? And of course, one of the main things you're going to need to do is team build. Team building is going to be super important in this game. So whether you're going to be using 5-star characters and be a whale, or if you plan to use 4-star characters and just be, you know, somewhat of a a dolphin, or if you want to be free to play like I'm probably going to be, we're going to try to create 2 accounts. We're going to do a free to play account and a whale account, and try to give you guys the best of both worlds, including testing plus combat, plus give you guys the ability to kind of check out, you know, what's available to you at max level versus what's available to you as a free to play player. So I'm going to try to do both for you. Now you can see the town is vivid, the town is responsive, there is a lot of NPCs walking around, and in this regard, the town is in fact a little bit more open world. So keep that in mind. The open world aspect is going to be a little bit more in the town areas, but when you go exploring in the world, it's not as open world, it's more linear. All right, so here's the banners that we're going to see. This is going to be the basic banner. I think this one guarantees you a summon, and it's a discounted rate over here, so you're guaranteed a 5-star character no matter what here, and it's the basic 5-star characters, so you're not going to have a chance at Esther here, unfortunately, but some of the better characters are here, and you're gonna, you know, this is a dev account, obviously, see how much they have, but when you're part of the support program, if you come support me, I'll send you some codes. Hopefully some of these codes will give you some of these starlights, and you guys can summon from there. And there's the rates, 0.667, the 0.1667. Now the beauty of this game is that you're guaranteed the character the first time you hit pity. You're guaranteed. There's no 50-50 the first time. You're guaranteed. This is the specialty banner right here, and this is the rate up banner, of course, and you're guaranteed Esther here after the first summon. And then down there you can see who else is the 4-stars that are associated there, but you're 100% guaranteed her when you pull the first time. The second and third and fourth time, I think that's when the 50-50 kicks in. So there is a 50-50 for advancements, but you're guaranteed the character the first time you summon on them. Okay, so that's a very important thing to take away from this, is it's going to make it a lot easier for you to get the character you want. But if you plan to do any form of ascension, you're going to have to actually work with the 50-50 system, unless they've taken that out. I haven't seen, but that's, I think, still going on from last I saw. I'd have to check the notes to see if there's something else out there, but we'd have to take a look and see, and we'll go do that after this video. All right, right over here we have something called a mine, and these are, I believe, special equipments that are like relics or artifacts specifically for characters. And of course, you guys can summon for these, equip them on the character, give them more powers. Now, also another thing that's coming this way, apparently they're going to be giving us quite a bit of currency, up to 674 summons when this game comes out. I think I'm reading that correctly, because I'm pretty sure they mentioned it over here when I was watching the live stream. They mentioned something about giving away sufficient currency to approximately have 674 total. And I think that's summons. I'm pretty sure if you add all these up, this is all the essence stones, for example, all the crystals we're going to get, all the summons and everything we're going to get. It looks like 674 playthrough summons that we're going to be able to get while we play the game. So quite a bit of free-to-play content coming your way, and a lot of free currency also coming our way, guys. So if you plan to play this free-to-play, you'll have a lot of opportunities to build a pretty OP team. Now, of course, the game being brand new, the meta is going to change fairly quickly, I'm assuming, as characters come out, but I'll give you guys all the guides I can, give you guys all the content you need to understand who to summon on, how to best gear them, and what the best teams are going to be for specific content. I think we're going to go pretty far in this game. All right, so let's take a look at some of the different skills here. So these are all how the skills work out. Let's go back for a second here. So this is what the skills look like, guys. So these are the various skills. There's the skills, the passives, the ultimates, etc. So all of this stuff is going to be like things you can level up using specific equipment or ingredients in this case. So all of this stuff is going to be manipulated through resources. So all, you know, and as you increase it, it's just going to increase the level, the severity of the percentages, or, you know, the effects that these skills have. And of course, it wouldn't be a gacha game without ascensions, right? Obviously, there's going to be dupes in this game. And with this game right now, it goes up to A6. So Ascension 6 right over here. And this will give you, of course, different benefits as you ascend. So for example, more crit, passive increase, etc., etc., etc. But the thing to note here is it goes up to 6. A lot of these games goes up to 10, 12 dupes required. This one is only 6. And of course, the more powerful you want to be, the more you're going to want to summon and dupe these. This is more whale activities. I haven't had a chance to really dive in much, so I don't know how free-to-play friendly it is and how much dupes are required to complete content. But if it's anything like we've seen before, it doesn't really require maximum investment to see the maximum output. You can still do really, really well with going with A0 versions or A1 versions if you plan to go a little bit further, just to get yourself an ascension out of the way. But again, this could all change when the game drops. So something to look out for, of course, and understand that things may change from how the closed beta test was versus how it's going to go live. So we're going to find all that out live, guys. So stay tuned for sure. But it is up to 6 and it stops at that point. There is no 10. So 6 is the maximum. All right, so this is the next thing you want to look at here, guys. This is the monster taming section and all the equipment and effects that they have. Consider this your equipment, right? Now, one thing that's cool I've been watching when I was watching this is this specific dev. I don't know if she's a dev or what. Let me move my camera. You guys can see who they are right there. That specific, the girl was pretty much saying like, a lot of people are concerned the direction of the game because of how the original game was. That's right. This is a remake of an original, not a remake, but it's like almost a sequel of the original. They're saying that you have nothing to worry about, and they plan to make sure that things like ascensions for characters and stuff don't become that important. And they want to have the support of the players, and plus they want to support the players by making sure that people enjoy the game, even if they don't have maximized characters, which is very refreshing because I swear Netmarble does this very often, where they're going to bring out a game and they're going to provide you with as many resources as possible to have fun with it, and then eventually we have to see what direction they take. So in the beginning, I can at least they're ensuring us that this game, there's so many things happening right now. I almost said something else. They want to give us the insurance policy of like, you'll enjoy the game without maximum characters, you'll be able to finish the game without maximum characters, so don't worry about summoning that much. This is how it always is with the honeymoon phase, guys. I'm not sure how it's going to be going forward, but at least they're giving us that insurance for the time being, and I'm okay with that. All right, now you guys can see the monster system also is a star system. There's 5 stars, 4 stars, etc. Plus monsters have different effects, they have different designs, you can equip them, and all of them have different passives plus stats. So this is going to be very important, guys, to note that this is the main part of the game. This is where all the farming is going to happen. All of these monster farmings is going to be what you're going to be fighting bosses for, doing dungeons for, exploring for, etc. So all of this stuff here is what it comes down to. And then there's this basic equipment, right? So you guys can see there is helmets, there's chests, there's arms, etc. So you guys can equip the basic equipment as well too on top of monsters. Monsters give effects, you can also use them in battles. Equipment of course obviously is going to give you stats and passives that you can use throughout the whole thing. So there is going to be a different layer, but most of us are used to this. We know if we play WoWa and other games, this is exactly how most of these games function. It's just an extra layer of summoning, an extra layer of exploration, an extra layer of stats that they're putting on top of one another. Alright, so speaking of monsters, you guys can see there is an encyclopedia of monsters here, and every time you beat these certain amount of monsters and capture them, etc., you're actually going to get yourself some resources along the way. Down here, you guys can see they're at 9%, and as you explore more, you're going to get yourself some crystallized things to summon on. You're going to get yourself some summons along the way. You're going to get some badges, some actual equipment. So, and you can also summon, you can craft some monsters as well too. You guys can see down here, there's a crafting setup, right? So you have all this material, and you can use gold to craft some of these 5 stars, some of these 4 stars, etc. So it's not just all about monsters and beating them. You can also do a lot of crafting and prepare yourself through this method as well, which gives you a little bit more flexibility in terms of what you want and what you want to use. And then of course the monster right there can also be, your little pet can also be multiply or use these monsters as well. And you can see there's the crafting system of fusion, so you can fuse different monsters to get various different results. So it's really, really cool in that regard. So a lot of like monster taming, monster capturing, etc., which honestly I was a huge fan of Monster Rancher, so this is kind of a big deal for me. This is one of the parts of like, if you're a Pokemon fan like I am and you want to capture Pokemon, similar idea, just using it differently, right? Plus these monsters can be used in battle with different effects, different attacks, etc. So keep that in mind. All right, so this is the equipment right there, guys. So you guys can see a lot of these things that you open up, those little things that you could, I think these are summonable. They open up equipment. So again, as mentioned before, there is a helmet, chest, arms, and feet, and all of these things obviously have their main stats, substats like you're used to now. So gearing is going to be a very important part. I'm not sure if there's a summoning portion of it there. I don't know if that was crafting or summoning, but I believe there was a little bit of crafting involved or summoning involved as well too. But there is the classic equipment system as well as the monster system on top. I just want to show what it looked like. And then of course there's food for buffs, which you guys can do. There's monsters right over here, your encyclopedia, there's dailies, there's achievements, there's, you know, whatever you like find, unlock, you can get resources for that. So there's the exploration for areas, there's item exploration, there's artifact exploration such as books, and then of course there's character exploration, and then there's different achievements across the board. All right, guys, so let's get into the actual combat. That's kind of what you're here for. So these are some of the bosses that are available in the dungeons that you can do. And you can see based on the level of difficulty you fight, you're going to be able to get yourself various gear as well as essence and gold along the way. And the bosses get more and more difficult based on the difficulty that you set. So for example, there's number 6 right there. They have 102 out of 3 keys to fight one of these bosses. They're obviously going to use one. And this is the team they're going to set up to fight it. And it tells you on the right over there what element you want to use for this boss. I believe this boss has a wind element section that you need to use in order to beat it, but they're going to go ahead and set up a team to fight against this boss, and we're going to check out the combat together so you can see kind of how the combat works and how smooth it is, etc. Right? So let's jump in right into the combat part of it, and I believe they go with this team coming up right now, right here. Okay, so we have Esther, we have Mina, I think Mina, so we have 5 minutes to defeat this boss, and I don't know what the middle unit is, but here you go. Esther is, okay, I believe that's Mina, so she's a fire mage. Oh, there's Mina right there. They're both fire mages. I think she's using 2 fire mages and a wind unit. So yeah, Esther's the wind unit. And you can see right up there, this boss is weak against wind. So like ideally you'd want to use wind units here, right there. Look at all that damage wind. That's one of the monsters coming in and doing some damage on that boss. That's pretty insane. So there is the whole dodge mechanic. There is, I don't think there's a parry system. I believe it's just dodge. And then of course there's basic skills, there's advanced skills, and then there's ultimates. And then of course there's QTEs, which is bringing your partners to do more damage. And I believe there's an iframe for that where you can avoid damage as well too. So again, very similar to solo leveling if you're used to it, but this boss looks awesome. Like this fight looks amazing. Look at it, looks so much going on the screen right now, and it's not that hard to tell. It's not super flashy. It's easy enough to kind of dictate who's doing what, where the boss is at all times, what moves the boss. There you go. There's the wind damage, right? So you're supposed to do wind here in order to break that bar. There's the ultimate that Esther's performing. Boom, kills the boss. And then you guys can see right here, there's a stun because of the stun bar. I think the boss is dead at this point. And then you'll see right here the rewards that are coming there. There's a treasure chest that drops. And then from here, you can open it up. And that's what's rewarded to you. So there you guys go. That's pretty much the boss fights. And this is beautiful because this doesn't require you to go anywhere. You can just open up the menu, jump in, and you can try these fights out yourself. And there's like, again, you'll probably have to unlock it through the story, but it's not overly complicated and it's not time consuming, which to me, honestly, is one of the biggest features of this game. So here's another boss right now that they're fighting, level 50. Again, difficulty set on this one could be different. It is weak against lightning, and they're using all lightning characters this time. And you guys can see that the element is purple, and that means you're doing weakness damage to the boss. And all these units that they're using right now are all lightning related units. So very, very cool bosses, cool design to the game, great graphics, good combat, and something that I'm very excited to try with you guys. So there you guys go. Check it out. Let me know what you guys think. Come join me on April the 15th. I'll be putting a live stream up. We'll be joining together, guys, playing live for a couple hours, hopefully as long as possible that I can. And then make sure you hit that support button, get yourselves in, and I'll be making some content for you guys for this game. Let me know what you guys think. If you're going to be planning to play it or not, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh, and before I go, there is the first code, DevLive0410. Make sure you use that code, guys. That'll be the first code given out to you guys. So make sure you use it. I'll link it in the description and also in the actual video itself, in the actual comment section as well, and I'll pin it. Thanks again, guys. Have a good one. Peace out.